You are listening to Pause. We pause for a second or two. This is episode 110. Pausing and silence. Pausing is our core skill. Pausing is in the middle of everything we do. It is the center we come back to as often that we like. Pausing is a skill that we can learn, that we can make into a craft. Pausing is something we can get to know, and something that we may change our mind about again and again. A pause may feel very different depending on what kind of situation it is. So the more times we pause, the more different the scope of situations that we pause in, the deeper our understanding of it becomes. And today we will talk about silence. Often when we pause, we stop whatever we are doing for a while. And during that pause, often we have some sense of silence within that pause, within that situation. So today we will talk about what role silence may have for our pausing, our core skill, pause. At the heart of silence is that silence gives room for something else. Silence makes something possible. Silence allows something to be heard, to be seen. Without silence, nothing can be. Whenever we pause, there we are, and we are in the midst of a situation, a specific situation. And when we pause, there is always a certain degree of silence within our pausing. There can be more or less silence within the pause. And depending on the situation, depending on how we pause as a craft, how we pause, the silence will allow for something or someone to be, or to develop in some way. Many people, this is not to make light of, this is something very real. Many people fear silence. Many people avoid silence. And avoiding silence is, in one way, smart. Because silence allows for development. Silence makes something or someone change or grow or transform in some way. Wherever there is silence, something interesting will happen. And many people, for their own reasons, do not have room for such change. Out of need, do not have room for such silence sprung change. Often we bash ourselves for rushing, for not making room for silence, as if silence is something inherently good in itself. But silence is simply something we can make use of. Silence is something we can develop a relationship with. And silence, in combination with pausing, silence within pausing, is something that may help us reach certain things. If you are out walking with someone you know, and you go silent for a moment, you pause and go silent for a moment, then you will feel how undercurrents will start moving within yourself, within the person you're walking with, and within the situation as such, your shared situation. You will feel within the silence, within the pausing, you will feel how these currents start moving, and you can feel how something or someone will reach shore, so to speak. Something will come up onto the sand from the silence, from the pausing. And it is very delicate, it is very precise when we pause in a silent way, when we pause making use of silence. If we recklessly pause and make use of silence in a random or malicious way, then it will be devastating. Then the wrong things will wash up on shore. The wrong things will be availed out of the silence. And it will be like taking a step backwards. So, when in doubt, we should not use silence. When in doubt, we should not pause in a silent way. Pausing in a silent way is a tool or a skill which is best utilized with precision and scarcely. That once we actually use silence in pausing, we use it when we feel some intuition, some sort of emotional cue that now is the time to pause in a silent way. Now is the precise right moment for it, because now I feel that something important, something timely will spring from the depths. Pausing and silence. Some people abuse silence. Some people hide in silence. And this is unfortunate. Silence is vast. And silence is like the ocean. If we haphazardly just goes out on the ocean, it will be dangerous. So silence is not something we should dive into. Silence is not a place to hide. Nothing good will come from hiding in silence. If we hide in silence, After some time, we will not recognize ourselves, and neither will the people who know us. Hiding in silence is not lagom, as we say in the pause framework. Hiding in silence is not leading to anything. When we hide in silence, our life stagnates. Our relationships stagnates. Our ambitions stagnate. Silence, rather, is like it's like adding flavor to the food, adding flavor to our life. If we use flavors and spices with a delicate hand, then the food will taste very good. But, like many things, silence is something we get to know. Silence is something we change our mind about and change it again. Silence is a skill. It's part of core skill pausing. When we use silence, when we make use of silence in our pausing, both for ourselves and for the situations we are in, with the people we are with, then our life may feel more considerate. That is a good word to use here. Silence used properly may make life feel more considerate, like a steady adult hand. Silence is vast, but used with care, with consideration, in moderation, silence will help both people and situations grow in a nice way. That is how to view silence. Silence is a source of good if we use it in a considerate way. That's it for today. Thank you.